I used to cry in secret, thinking God was ashamed of me. But he met me right there in my lowest. I think most people know the feeling of shame. It's that inner voice that says, "You're not enough." And for those struggling with addiction, that voice can be especially cruel. It whispers that you're beyond hope, that you've blown it yet again, that you're a failure, that you're alone. So you try to hide it. You try to be strong. You try to convince yourself that everything's fine. But deep down inside, you're crumbling. And then something unexpected happens. God shows up in a dream and tells you that you're still his. He hasn't given up on you. In fact, he wants to come after you right now. This is going to be a wild ride. So let's start at the beginning. We have to talk about what got us here. You've heard it before. Addiction is a disease. It's progressive. It's a progressive disease. So that means it gets worse over time if we don't do something about it. For me, my addiction started out as a way to cope. Maybe for you, it was an escape from pain or a way to fit in. Whatever the reason, it started out as a way to numb those feelings, but it ended up causing so many more problems. The funny thing about addiction is it starts out as a choice, but eventually it becomes an obsession. Before you know it, you're not in control anymore. It's controlling you. You become a slave to your cravings. And the worst part is the secrecy. It's like a dark cloud hanging over your head, stealing your joy, your peace, your relationships. Even when I wasn't using, I was still haunted by it. By the time I hit rock bottom, I was desperate for a change. I knew I couldn't keep living like that. I wanted to break free from the chains that were holding me down, but I didn't know how. This is where our story takes a turn. This is the moment I've been waiting for. This is the moment I've been waiting for. The weight of my addiction was crushing me. I felt like I was drowning in a sea of despair. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to turn. But then, in the quiet of my pain, I heard a voice. It was a voice of compassion, understanding, and most importantly, hope. The voice spoke to me saying, "You are still mine." At that moment, the burden I'd been carrying seemed to lift just a little. It was like a crack of light breaking through the darkness. All I could do was cry. I had no words, just tears. All I could whisper was, "God, help me." Little did I know that this moment of utter despair, was also a moment of profound transformation. In Romans chapter 10, verse 13, it says, "Everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved." And in Psalm 34, verse 18, it says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit." These verses became my lifeline. They were a promise that even in my brokenness, God saw me. He knew my pain, and he was reaching out to me. Now, I want to be clear, it wasn't an instant fix. I wasn't suddenly perfect the second I called out to God, but what happened next was an instant presence. God began showing up in my life in ways I never imagined possible. One day, I found myself at a CR meeting. The next day, I was reading the Bible. The next day, I received a phone call from someone I hadn't spoken to in years. And the day after that, a song came on the radio that brought tears to my eyes. Each of these moments was a sign of God's love, a reminder that he was with me, that he was working in my life. Remember, you don't need to clean up your life before you call out to God. He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for a heart that's willing to turn away from sin and towards him. He's the author of our story. It's the one who makes the crooked places straight. Maybe you're wondering, will God reach out to me? Will he help me? I'm here to tell you that he longs to. He's waiting for you to cry out to him, to open the door for him to come in and set you free. Speaking of setting people free, I have a question for you. Did you know that over 300 million people around the world are enslaved in some form of modern-day slavery? And now let's get back to the video. If this is your pit, cry out to God today. Drop A in the comments and I'll pray for you. Also, please consider subscribing. Every Sunday, I want to go live to answer your questions and pray with you. Help me get to 50 subs so I can go live and answer your questions and pray with you. I hope to see you there. Until then, keep praying. And remember, you are stronger than your struggles, and you are loved beyond measure.